Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Friday, April 14th, 2023. Big show today, NHL, baseball, NBA playing, and then look ahead to the weekend a little bit. Soccer, golf, NASCAR, American Idol. I will give out my picks for each series, news and notes, and best bet. All right, we'll start with hockey. The last big day of the regular season. We have a small window of games for tonight. Maple Leafs over the Rangers 3-2 in a meaningless game. Sabres over the Senators 4-3 in OT in a meaningless game. Columbus over the Penguins 3-2 in overtime in a meaningless game. Hurricanes over the Panthers 6-4, so the Canes win the division. Panthers lose, so they play the Bruins in round one. Bruins over the Habs 5-4, meaningless game. Bolts over the Red Wings 5-0, meaningless game. Devils come back from 4-1 down to beat the Caps 5-4 in OT. Game winner by Luke Hughes, his first NHL goal. It's the brother of Jack Hughes. Devils Rangers is round one. Avs over the Jets 4-2. Stars over the Blues 1-0. So the Central Division's not done yet. Preds over the Wild 4-3 in overtime. Flyers over the Blackhawks 5-4 in overtime. Oilers over the Sharks 5-2. Kings over the Ducks 5-3. Canucks over the Coyotes 5-4 OT. And the Golden Knights over the Kraken 3-1 as the Golden Knights clinch the Pacific Division. And then they will be playing the Jets in round one. And then we'll get Kings Oilers again for the second straight year. 2 games tonight, one meaningless and then one big one. 7:30 at the Sabres and the Blue Jackets from Columbus. The Sabres are definitely favored in this game. Minus 176. Columbus is plus 146, over under 7.5. Over is plus 138, unders minus 170. Sabres minus 1.5 is plus 128. Columbus plus 1.5 is minus 154. I'm going to take... Oof, I can't believe how high that total is. This is a good one. I'm going to go with... There'll be overtime, yes, at plus 380. And then the Avs and the Predators, 8 o'clock. If the Avs win, they win the division. If they lose, Dallas wins the division. Colorado's minus 205. The Preds are plus 168. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 140. Unders plus 114. Avs minus 1.5 is plus 28. Preds plus 1.5 is minus 156. I'm going with the under. Because I think the Preds can play some good spoiler here. Alrighty. There are no games over the weekend, so we'll move on to Major League Baseball right now as we'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight's and the weekend's games. Yesterday's window wasn't big at all. It was only like 8 games. Orioles over the A's 8-7. Rays over the Red Sox 9-3. Reds over the Phillies 6-2. Twins wallop the Yankees 11-2, courtesy of a 9-run first inning. Tigers over the Blue Jays 3-1. Pirates over the Cards 5-0. Brewers over the Padres 4-3 in 10. All right, tonight's game 6:30. You have the D-backs and the Marlins. Madison Bumgarner and Trevor Rogers. Marlins minus 152. D-backs plus 128. Over under 9. Overs minus 112. Unders minus 108. D-backs plus 1.5 is minus 152. Marlins minus 1.5 is plus 126. The pick here is the full game over, minus 112. Phillies Reds. Tyjon Walker, Connor Overton. Phils minus 148. Reds plus 126. Over under 9.5. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. Phillies minus 1.5 is plus 106. Reds plus 1.5 is minus 128. I'm going to go Phillies over 5.5 runs at plus 102. Connor Overton's been terrible this year. Giants, Tigers on Apple TV+. Sean Manaea, Joey Wentz. Giants minus 148, Tigers plus 126, over under 9, overs minus 106, unders minus 114. Giants minus 1.5 is plus 112, Detroit plus 1.5 is minus 134. For this game, I'm going to go with the full game under 9, minus 114. 7 o'clock, you have the Twins at the Yankees. Tyler Mahle and Nestor Cortez. Yanks minus 190, Twins plus 160, over under 8.5, overs minus 114, unders minus 106. Twins plus 1.5 is minus 126, Yankees minus 1.5 is plus 105. Full game over. I think Yanks bounce back, potentially go over by themselves. Guardians, Nats. Cal Quantrill, Trevor Williams. Guardians minus 154, Nats plus 130, over under 9.5, overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Guardians minus 1.5 is plus 114, Nats plus 1.5 is minus 137. For this one, I'm going to go with Guardians over 5 runs, minus 112. Rays, Jays. Drew Rasmussen, Jose Barrios. The Rays are favored in Toronto. This is game of the night. Only because the Rays are still undefeated. And the Rays are favorites on the road. Toronto's plus 108, over under 9, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Rays minus 1.5 is plus 136. Jays plus 1.5 is minus 164. I want to pick Toronto to win outright to give the Rays their first loss of the year. But instead, I'm going to go full game over, minus 118. Apple TV Plus, Angels, Red Sox. Patrick Sandoval and Tanner Houck. Angels minus 122, Red Sox plus 104, over under 9.5, overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Angels minus 1.5 is plus 130, Red Sox plus 1.5 is minus 160. I'm going to go with the full game over. Orioles, White Sox. Tyler Wells, Mike Clevenger. O's minus 110, White Sox minus 106, over under 8.5, overs minus 120, unders minus 102. O's minus 1.5 is plus 140, White Sox plus 1.5 is minus 170. I'm going to go with the White Sox straight up at minus 106. You could argue they need the game. 8 o'clock, the Braves and the Royals. Charlie Morton, Brady Singer. Braves minus 132, Royals plus 112, over under 9, overs minus 114, unders minus 106. Braves minus 1.5 is plus 114, Royals plus 1.5 is minus 137. Full game over. Rangers, Astros. Fun series. Martin Perez, Luis Garcia. I didn't realize the Astros are 6-7. That's not good. The Stros are minus 168. The Rangers are plus 142. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 150. Astros minus 1.5 is plus 125. No Corey Seager for Texas. Which is bad. I'm going to go under 3.5 Rangers runs, plus 104. Perfect kind of get-right spot for the Astros with the Rangers losing Seager. They got to take advantage of that. 8:15, you have the Pirates and the Cards. Johan Oviedo and Jake Woodford. Cards minus 168, Pirates plus 142, over under 9, overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Pittsburgh plus 1.5 is minus 144. Cards minus 1.5 is plus 120. Kind of like how Pittsburgh's playing. I'm going to take them again at plus 142 for the upset. 9:40 of the Mets and the A's. Cody Senga and James Kaprielian. Mets minus 215, A's plus 180, over under 8, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Mets minus 1.5 is minus 125, A's plus 1.5 is plus 104. Senga's emergence has softened the Verlander blow so far, although they're only 7-6. James Kaprielian's been terrible. I'm going to go under 3 ace runs at plus 102. Brewers, Padres, Eric Lauer, and Michael Wacha. So it's the Josh Hader Bowl here. The Padres are minus 162. The Brewers are plus 136. Over under 8.5. Minus 110 each way. Brewers plus 1.5 is minus 144. Padres minus 1.5 is plus 120. Padres are only 7-7. Milwaukee's 9-4. That's a tough one. I'm gonna go with the under. I think that's gonna be a well pitched game. 10 o'clock, Cubs, Dodgers. Justin Steele, Noah Syndergaard. Each game's one game over 500. Dodgers minus 168, Cubs plus 142 over under 8.5, minus 110 each way. Cubs plus 1.5 is minus 144. Dodgers minus 1.5 is plus 120. I like that under too. And then you have the Rockies and the Mariners, Austin Gomber and Marco Gonzalez. Mariners minus 172, Rockies plus 144 over under 8.5, overs minus 108, unders minus 112. Rockies plus 1.5 is minus 142, Mariners minus 1.5 is plus 118. I'm going to go with the over in that game. All right, Saturday, 1 o'clock, Twins, Yankees from the stadium. Kenta Maeda, Domingo Germán. Giants, Tigers, Anthony DeSclafani, and we don't know for Detroit. 2 o'clock, Orioles, White Sox. Kyle Gibson, Michael Kopech. 2:15, Pirates, Cardinals. Ronci Contreras and Steven Matz. 3 o'clock, Rays, Jays. Josh Fleming, Yusei Kikuchi. 4 o'clock, Guardians, Nats. Zach Plesac, Chad Cole. Fox Sports 1, Brewers, Padres. Freddie Peralta, Seth Lugo. Both those guys have been brilliant this year. Mets, A's. Carlos Carrasco and Shintaro Fujinami. Angels, Red Sox. Tyler Anderson and Nick Pivetta. Pivetta's been actually decent this year. D-backs, Marlins. Ryan Nelson, Braxton Garrett. Braves, Royals. Bryce Edler, Chris Bubick. Phil's, Reds. Matt Strom, Graham Ashcraft. 7 o'clock, Rangers, Astros. John Gray and Hunter Brown. 9 o'clock, Cubs, Dodgers. Jamison Taillon and Michael Grove. And then 9:30 of the Rockies and the Mariners on ESPN+. Ryan Feltner and George Kirby. Sunday, 1 o'clock, Giants, Tigers. Logan Webb, Matt Boyd. 1:30, Angels, Red Sox. Reed Demers, Garrett Whitlock. Twins, Yankees. Pablo Lopez and Garrett Cole. Woo, that's a good pitching matchup. Guardians, Nats. Shane Bieber, Patrick Corbin. Blue Jays hosting the Rays. Shane McClanahan, Alek Manoah. D-backs, Marlins. Zach Gallen, Sandy Alcantara. Phillies, Reds. Aaron Nola, Luis Sessa. 2 o'clock, Braves, Royals. Kyle Wright, Zach Greinke. Orioles, White Sox. Grayson Rodriguez, Dylan Cease. 2:15, Pirates, Cardinals. Mitch Keller and Miles Mikolas. 4 o'clock, Mets, A's. Max Scherzer, J.P. Sears. Cubs, Dodgers. Drew Smyly, Julio Urias. Rockies, Mariners. We don't know what's going for Colorado, and it's Luis Castillo for Seattle. Brewers, Padres. Wade Miley and Yu Darvish in Sunday Night Baseball. 7 o'clock, ESPN. Rangers, Astros. Andrew Heaney and Framber Valdez. All right, the NBA play-in tournament resumes tonight. 2 games. One on TNT, the other on ESPN. On TNT tonight, you have the Bulls and the Heat at 7 o'clock. I have the Heat by 4 as a projection, total 222 and a 20th. And we have 5.5 and 209. I like the over. A little more offense than giving credit for, and is slightly into the Bulls as well. And 9:30 on ESPN, you have the Thunder and the Timberwolves. Rumors about Rudy Gobert might not be playing. If Gobert plays, I have Timberwolves by 3, and if he doesn't, Thunder by a half. Total 232 and 3/5, and it's 5.5 and 228. I like the over as well in this spot. But I would also take the Thunder here if Gobert doesn't play to win outright. But a fun money line parlay would be the Bulls and the Thunder both to win outright. That payout would be enormous. But for the show picks, overs for both games. All right, the Saturday schedule. Just giving out game picks, not series picks. 1 o'clock, ESPN, Nets, Sixers. My line is the Sixers by 7.5, total 226. No injuries. And it's 8.5 and 214.5. Way over. 3:30, Hawks, Celtics. My projection, Celtics by 10, total 232 and 17/20, and it's 9 and 230.5. Over. 6 o'clock, ESPN, Knicks, Cavs. With Randall, Cavs by 5. Without Randall, 10.5. Total 224 and 3/20, and it's 5.5 and 214.5. Over. Way too many overs. And then last but not least, Saturday primetime on ABC, Warriors, Kings. My projections, Kings by 5, total 237 and 2 fits. And it's Kings by 1, total 238. I'm going to lay the 1 with the Sacramento Kings. There's probably lines out for a couple of these games, but not all of them. So 3 o'clock on ABC on Sundays, Lakers, Grizzlies. My projections, Grizzlies by 6, total 231 and 7/10, and it's 3.5 and 228.5. I do like the over in that one too. The Bulls Heat winner against the Bucks. Either way, it's Bucks by 10. And that game would be 5:30 on TNT. 8 o'clock on TNT, Clippers Suns. That's a good one in prime time. My line, Suns 3.5, total 225 and 19/20, and it's 7 and 226.5. I'm taking the Clippers getting the 7. That's a lot of points. Oh, but no Paul George potentially, so we gotta account for that, and that would absence would be 5 points towards the spread, so it'd go to 8.5. So that, my friends, would be a slight lean to the Suns if Paul George doesn't play. And then the Thunder Timberwolves winner against the Nuggets, 10:30 on TNT. Either way, Nuggets by 8.5 is the line. I don't have a total for you guys yet. All right, Major League Soccer and some other stuff. So we'll start with Major League Soccer for the weekend. I think it's just Saturday again this week. No, there's games on Sunday too. 7:30, CF Montreal hosts DC United. Charlotte hosts Colorado. Columbus hosts New England. NYCFC hosts Nashville from Citi Field would be my guess. Yes. Red Bulls host Houston. Toronto hosts Atlanta. Austin hosts Vancouver at 8:30. Chicago hosts Philly. Dallas hosts Salt Lake. Minnesota hosts Orlando. St. Louis hosts Cincinnati. 10:30. Portland hosts Seattle. San Jose hosts Kansas City. Sunday, 4:30. The Battle of LA. The Galaxy hosts LAFC from Carson. So that should be a really good game coming up. All right, so La Liga today, 3 o'clock, Rayo and Osasuna. Rayo plus 120, Osasuna plus 270. The draw is 2-1. I'm going to go with the draw 2-1. Saturday, 8 o'clock, Villarreal and Valladolid, 10:15, Athletic and Real Sociedad, 12:30, Betis and Espanyol, and 3 o'clock, Cadiz and Real Madrid. Sunday, 8 o'clock, Girona, Elche, 10:15, Getafe, Barcelona, 12:30, Atletico Almeria, 3 o'clock, Valencia and Sevilla. German Bundesliga today, 2:30. You have Schalke and Hertha. Schalke plus 115, Hertha plus 250, draw plus 220. I'm going to give out another draw at plus 220. Saturday, 9:30, Bayern, Hoffenheim, Cologne, Mainz, RP Leipzig, Augsburg, Stuttgart, Dortmund, and 12:30, Frankfurt and Gladbach. Sunday, 9:30, Bremen, Freiburg, 11:30, Union Berlin, Bochum, and 1:30, Wolfsburg and Leverkusen. All right, English League Championship. Result from Monday. We have results, I should say. Huddersfield, Blackburn, 2-2 draw. Birmingham, Stoke, 0-0 draw. Sunderland over Cardiff, 1-0. Coventry, Watford, 2-2 draw. Hull over Millwall, 1-0. Luton over Blackpool, 3-1. Norwich City and Rotherham, 0-0 draw. Preston over Reading, 2-1. West Brom, QPR, 2-2 draw. Swansea over Wigan, 2-0. Bristol City, Borough, 2-2 draw. And Burnley over Sheffield United, 2-0. All right, today at 3 o'clock, you have Borough and Norwich City. I'm going to pull it up right now. Middlesbrough, minus 115. Norwich, plus 280. Draw, plus 260. I'm going to go with another draw, plus 260. And then Saturday, 7:30 of Sheffield United, Cardiff, 10 o'clock, Blackpool, Wigan, Millwall, Preston, QPR, Coventry, Reading, Burnley, Rotherham, Luton, Stoke, West Brom, Sunderland, Birmingham, Swansea, Huddersfield, Watford, Bristol City, 2:45, Blackburn, and Hull. Dutch Advertise today, 2 o'clock, you have Excelsior and the Go Ahead Eagles. Excelsior 2-1. Go Ahead Eagles plus 115. Draw plus 240. I'm going to go with the draw again at plus 240. Saturday, 12:45. RKC, Waldwick, and FC Groningen. And 3 o'clock, Sparta and Heerenveen. Sunday, 6:15. NEC and Vitesse. 8:30. FC Utrecht and FC Twente. FC Volendam and PSV. 10:45. Cambuur and Feyenoord. 2 o'clock, Ajax and Emmen. And Fortuna and AZ Alkmaar. Serie A, 12:30 of Cremonese and Empoli. Cremonese plus 135, Empoli 210, draw 210. I'm going to go Cremonese plus 135. 245 Spezia and Lazio. Spezia plus 380, draw plus 240, Lazio plus or minus 135. Lazio is playing well. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals at plus 118. Saturday, 9 o'clock, Bologna and Milan. 12 o'clock, Napoli, Verona. 2:45, Inter Milan and Monza. And then Sunday, 6:30, Lecce and Sampdoria. 9 o'clock, Torino and Salernitana. 12 o'clock, Sassuolo and Juventus. 2:45, AS Roma and Udinese. French League 1. Today, 3 o'clock, you have Toulouse and Lyon. Toulouse plus 230, Lyon plus 105, draw plus 270. Toulouse's been hot in their home, plus 230. Saturday, 11 o'clock, Rennes and Reims. 3 o'clock, PSG Lens. Sunday, big day, 7 o'clock, Lille Montpellier. 9 o'clock, Auxerre Nantes. Brest Nice. Clermont-Foot Angers. Strasbourg, AC Ajaccio. 11 o'clock, Monaco Lorient. 2:45, Marseille and Troyes. Liga MX tonight, 9 o'clock, Necaxa and Puebla. Necaxa minus 105, Puebla plus 270, draw plus 250. We'll go with Puebla on the road, plus 270. And 11 o'clock, you have Mazatlan and Tijuana. Mazatlan plus 220, Tijuana plus 205, draw plus 260. I'm going to go with Mazatlan at home at plus 220. Saturday, 7 o'clock, Atlas and Pachuca. 9 o'clock, Leon and Guadalajara. And 11 o'clock, Cruz Azul and America. Sunday, 2 o'clock, UNAM and Toluca. Querétaro and Tigres. And 9 o'clock, Monterrey and Santos. And then the NWSL today, 10:30 at Portland And Houston, Oh, this is the women's. Never mind. Portland minus 185, Houston plus 490, draw plus 320. Portland's hot. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals minus 110. And then Saturday's a little bit of a larger day. 7 o'clock North Carolina, Washington, Orlando, Gotham, 8 o'clock Chicago, KC, 10 o'clock Angel City, Louisville, and OL Reign and San Diego. And then English Premier League, 7:30 Aston Villa, Newcastle, 10 o'clock Chelsea, Brighton. This is Saturday. Everton, Fulham, Southampton, Crystal Palace, Tottenham, Bournemouth, Wolves, Brentford, and at 12:30 Manchester City and Leicester. Sunday, 9 o'clock West Ham, Arsenal, and 11:30 Nottingham Forest and Man United. No UEFA until Tuesday. And then we have the USA League on Saturday. 6 o'clock Tulsa, Charleston, Loudoun, Birmingham, 7 o'clock Miami FC, Detroit City FC, Pittsburgh, Rio Grande, Louisville, San Antonio, 7:30, 8 o'clock Memphis, Las Vegas, New Mexico, San Diego, Orange County, Indy, Oakland, Hartford, Phoenix, Monterey, and then at 11 o'clock Sacramento and Colorado Springs. All right, now move on to golf. We'll go over the leaderboard for the RBC Heritage. So in first place right now with a score of 7 under is a tie. Victor Hovland, Mark Hubbard, Sanjay M, Jordan Spieth, and Aaron Ray. Tied for 6 with 6 under. Brian Harman, Hayden Buckley, Justin Rose, Jimmy Walker. Tied for 10th with 5 under. Adam Scott, Patrick Cantlay, Tommy Fleetwood, Nate Lashley, Zach Johnson, Matt Fitzpatrick. That was my pick. Scott Stallings, Joel Dahman. Tied for 18th with 4 under. Xander Schauffele, Ricky Fowler, Adam Putnam, Bayo Hostler, Taylor Moore, Scotty Scheffler, Gary Woodland, Doug Gim, Cam Young. Tied for 27th with 3 under. Emiliano Grillo, Tyrell Hatton, Matt Kuchar, Pat Rogers, Wyndham Clark, Ernie Els, James Hahn, Adam Svensson, John Rahm, Stuart Sink, Tony Finau, and Patton Kazir. Tied for 39th with 2 under. Austin Smytherland, Joaquin Herman, Sam Burns, Evan Van Rooyen, Justin Thomas, Robert Brebb, Chris Kirk, Kevin Stroman, Alex Melly, Harry English, Robert Streb, Brendan Todd, Kramer Hickok, Sam Ryder. Tied for 53rd at 1 under. Max McGreevy, Davis Lipsky, Justin Lauer, Ben Griffin, Lucas Hodges, Sodi Kodiara, Saiwu Kim, Trey Mullinax, C. Thiglia, Shane Lowry, Cam Davis, Nate Taylor, Kurt Katayama, Ryan Palmer, Ryan Henley, Lucas Donald, Corey Connors, Michael Thompson, JT Potson, Davis Riley, Dylan McCarthy, Scott Piercy, Danny Willett, Adam Schenk is in the tie for 76th at even. It's a big tie. I'm just going to go through notables at this point. Matt Neesmith, Grayson Sieg, Jason Hadley, Ty Gibson, Ben Martin, Thomas Dietrich, Callum Tarrant, Brad Horschel, Kungu Lee, Mackenzie Hughes, Grayson Higo, Tyler Duncan, Webb Simpson, Chester V, Cam Young, Keegan Bradley, Christian Ziedenhout, Chengson Pond, Keith Mitchell. Tied for 98th with 1 over. Brandon Wu, Scott Stevens, Matthias Schwab, David Slove, Lucas Herbert, Rick McNeely, Jason Duffner, Peter Malnati, Doc Redman, Kevin Tway, Adam Long, Colin Morikawa, Stefan Jaeger, Wesley Bryant. Tied for 116th with 2 over. Taylor Montgomery, Lucas Griffin, Richie Wierenski, Max Homa, Andrew Landry, Cam Champ, Taylor Pendrith, Lucas Glover. Tied for 25th with 3 over. Nate Hardy, Adam Hadwin, Kelly Craft, Nicholas Echeverria, Luke List, J.J. Spawn, Taylor Hogue. Tied for 133rd with 4 over. Martin Laird, Ben Taylor. Tied for 136th with 5 over. Matt Wallace, Ryan Moore. Tied for 138th with 6 over. Sepp Straka, Seamus Power, Russell Knox. 141st with 9 over. Dylan Fertelli, withdrawing Kevin Kisner and Ryan Fox. Alrighty. Alright, now move on to NASCAR. We have races to pick. They're all in Martinsville. Truck Series tonight, 7:30, Fox Sports 1. The Long John Silver's 200. Should be a fun race. And I'm going to lay 1/10 of a unit per pick. For this race, I'm going to go with a little bit of a long shot. 40-1. Carson Hocevar. Xfinity. The call 811.com before you dig 250. That's tomorrow night, 7:30 on Fox Sports 1. So another night race. So my pick for this one is someone that's having the year of his life, and he's 22-1. Austin Hill. That is tremendous value on Austin Hill. And in the Cup Series, during the day on Fox Sports 1 on Sunday for Martinsville, the NOCO 400. This is a hard one because a lot of guys I consider their favorites, but there's a guy I like. He's been good this year. He's 16-1. I'm going to go with Ross Chastain to win the NOCO 400. All right, American Idol Top 26. It all gets underway on Sunday, 2-night event. So it goes from 26 to 20. So we do not know about the theme of the week. I guess they don't do that in particular. But I assume that I know they're performing for America's Vote now. So it's going to be interesting. So, and then the next week is going to be the top 20, and then they revealed the top 12 on the 24th. So, again, your top 24. Kara, Warren P. Nutsa, Michael Williams, PJ Malik, Wiani, Zakaria Smith, Tyson Vegas, Haven Madison, Lucy Love, Megan Danielle, Mary Beth Bird, Oliver Steele, Emma Boosie, Elijah McCormick, Elise Christine, Olivia Soul, Dawson Wayne, Mariah Faith, Hannah Nicolaisen, Nyla Serenity, Matt Wilson, Colin Stogue, and Ian Tongi. So this is hard. I don't know if they're going to announce the results. They're probably going to do it on Monday, I would assume. I'm going to look back on last season. So they did have they had a top 23 because Kennedy withdrew last year. So the top 24, they do Group 1, Group 2. And then, so the live results, I guess they do the results, during the Monday show. I'm going to look back from my notes from last season to see when they did the results. But I believe that was the case. That they do the results on Monday, I would assume. So if I had to make early guesses for who gets through into the top 20, this is hard. So 3 men, 3 women you would think would be eliminated. I think it's easier to guess who goes home. I think the ones that go home, out of the males, I'm going to say Zakaria. Maybe Dawson. And I'm going to say Michael Williams goes home too. So Michael Williams, Zakaria, and Dawson. And of the females, Nuta, the female group is so loaded. Maybe Kaera. And let's say Elise Christine, maybe. I could see her going home. So yeah, let's go with Elise, Kaera, and Nuta for the girls. And then for the boys, Zakaria, Malik, and Dawson. And then the rest make the top 20 if I had to make early guesses. But my guesses are obviously going to change after the performances. But if I had to make an early forecast, I'm going to say it's those 6 that get booted. All right, now I'll move on to my picks for the first round NBA series. We'll start in the East. So the Bucks are going to play the winner of tonight's Hawks versus Bulls game. I think it's going to be the same outcome regardless of who wins that game. I think the Bucks are a team that's riding high right now. Giannis is the best player in the world. This team is rounding into form, getting healthy. The Hawks have been incredibly disappointing all year. Trae Young all of a sudden is in trade rumors. And the Bulls had a nice turnaround after rumors that they were going to blow up that team. Nice rally to beat the Raptors the other night. But either way, I think the Bucks, it's a sweep. Or, no, I'm sorry, the Heat, not the Hawks. Oh, my God. I had the Hawks in my head, but the Heat. That's just a team that's aging and is getting old. Potentially a blow-it-up watch. Pat Riley, are we sure he's still good at his job? But, yeah, that's a sweep. Either if it's the Heat or the Bulls. And now the Hawks and the Celtics. We talked about the Hawks a little bit in the last segment. I had Hawks and Heat mixed up because they're both H names from the same division. Celtics, great start, but kind of teetered in the second half of the year. Were they playing a little bit of possum? We'll find out. They should get by the Hawks because the Hawks aren't very good. So I'm going to say the Celtics sweep Atlanta. Sixers Nets is your 3-6. Philly had a nice heater from like December all the way until the middle of March, and then James Harden hurt his Achilles, and Harden really hasn't been the same since then. That makes me nervous a little bit. But even with that, they should get by the Brooklyn Nets. I'm going to say Brooklyn steals one at the Barclays Center. Or maybe one in Philadelphia. Who knows? But I'm going to say Sixers in 5 over the Nets. And then you have the Cavs and the Knicks as your 4-5. The big question of this series is when is Julius Randle coming back for the Knicks? And then even Cleveland has injuries. Isaac Okoro, who's turned into a good defender this year, and Jared Allen, who's an excellent rim protector. But I do think the Randle injury is a bigger deal than the two Cavs injuries. Because I think that the Cavs have the talent to overcome those injuries because of the Randle injury. If Randle is healthy, but if those guys were not, then maybe I'm thinking different. But I'm going to say Randle comes back mid-series, maybe Game 3 for that ABC game. But I think the Cavs are just better. Donovan Mitchell, big chip on his shoulder, playing against the team that he wanted to get traded to. But now that looks bad because R.J. Barrett's been disappointing this year, and Donovan Mitchell's going to make first-team All-NBA. But what makes up for it is the brilliance of Jalen Brunson, the fact that they only finished, 2 games back of them. So, my pick for this series is Cavaliers in 6. And they probably have the best 2 players in the series with Mitchell and Evan Mobley. And that's even if Julius Randle comes back. And then the Knicks would have the next 2 best players, and then Darius Garland would be 5. All right, in the West, you have the Nuggets playing the winner of the Timberwolves-Thunder game tonight. Nuggets, great year. I just think that they were on cruise control in the last month of the season because they had the 1 seed locked up. I think they're going to be a motivated team and ready to go. I think Jokic has a big chip on his shoulder, especially since I don't think he's going to three-peat as MVP. So they should be ready. And the Timberwolves, Rudy Gobert should be back. If not tonight, then for the series. If they get by the Thunder. Anthony Edwards, I think, could have a couple of moments. Jaden McDaniels, that's a big loss for them with the broken wrist. This team's just better off with Mike Conley than D'Angelo Russell, amazingly enough. And then on the other side, the Thunder, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander might be the best guy on the court tonight, and the Thunder might win. So, it's going to be fun to see whether it's him or Anthony Edwards who ends up the best guy in that game tonight. Or it could be Karl Anthony Towns. But Josh Giddey's a good player too. So if it's the Timberwolves, Nuggets in 6, because I think the Timberwolves will compete. And they have the experience from last year. But if it's the Thunder, Nuggets in 5. And OKC steals one at home, courtesy of SGA. Grizzlies, Lakers. This is going to be a good one. This is obviously a fun series. You have LeBron and AD against Ja. A lot of storylines. This is obviously against the team for the Grizzlies where their season kind of fell apart with the Shannon Sharpe incident. And the funny thing is that the Lakers won that game without LeBron or AD. And that game was on ESPN. And I believe Mike Breen called that game too. And so, a ton of fun storylines and subplots here. No Steven Adams or Brandon Clark from Memphis. That hurts them. LeBron and AD, the question is, will they get through at least one round healthy if they advance? I thought this was a tough series to pick. I seriously considered pulling the trigger with the Lakers with the upset, but I think that upset's become too popular. Give me the Memphis Grizzlies in 6. The best guy in the series will be Mr. Ja Morant over LeBron and AD. So Grizzlies in 6 there. Kings Warriors. That's going to be a fun one. Northern California rivalry. You never seen this playoff series happen, but here we are. You have the experience in the reigning champion Warriors. And then you have the Kings, who are the upstart team, led by De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis, who both should make All-NBA. So, should be a really, really interesting series. I think there are matchups that the Kings could exploit against the Warriors. But ultimately, I think experience wins out here. Stephen Curry and Dubs get it done. I'm going to go with the Warriors in 7 games over the Sacramento Kings. And I think that the Kings will win Game 1, as I alluded to earlier in the podcast. So 2-1 would be a good bet in terms of Kings win Game 1, but the Warriors win the series. And then you have the Suns and the Clippers. That's going to be a great series. You have Kevin Durant and Devin Booker against Kawhi Leonard and maybe Paul George. We'll see. I just think that the Suns need some time to gel. I know they're 8-0 with Durant. I get it. But that's a small sample size, and they probably played some garbage teams in there. So, I think there could be some chemistry stuff here. Kawhi has been in a lot of big games in his life. So a lot of guys on that Clipper roster. Ty Lue, I think, could really do some things here. If Paul George was here, I probably would have the same pick as the pick I'm going to make, and that is the Suns in 6 games. Durant's the best guy in the series. And also George, I think, will hurt. But I just think Phoenix is better. And Booker, I think, will have some moments here too. So Suns in 6 over the Clippers. And in terms of odds, I bet on each series outcome pick. At least the ones that start tomorrow. So I have Philadelphia 4-1. That was plus 175. Celtics 4-0 plus 260. Cavs 4-2 plus 490. And Warriors 4-3 at 5-1. All right, now move on to the news and notes for today. Not that much for a Friday, amazingly enough. Start with basketball. The Raptors are unhappy with Nick Nurse as the front office didn't like Nurse openly discussing his future and let him hear about it. Andrew Wiggins returning for Game 1 against the Kings and will likely come off the bench for 20-25 minutes. So that's good news for them. We talked about Rudy Gobert missing potentially tonight against the Thunder. The Rockets are eyeing Sam Cassell, who's the Sixers assistant, former Rockets guard. Granted permission to interview for head coaching job. CJ McCollum had a torn labrum as he was playing with a shoulder and thumb injury for the last 7 games. That makes sense to why he was so bad in the playing game. Adoma Sanogo going to the draft. That's not surprising. Emotional Instagram message thanking UConn. Five-star point guard commit A.J. Johnson decommits from Texas as he'll be playing for the Illawarra Hawks in Australia. Yikes. Now we'll go to hockey. Craig Anderson's retiring as the Sabre players rushed to him after his final start. Very emotional. Wild extend Freddie Gaudreau 5 years, about $11 million, $2.1 million a year. So that's a nice extension for him. Bad news for the Avalanche. Gabriel Landeskog out for the playoffs due to a knee injury after missing the entire regular season. That could change how I feel about the Avalanche's chances of repeating. So baseball, we talked about the Rays being 13-0. Oswaldo Arcia, the Braves shortstop, going on the injured list as he underwent an MRI and CT scan, which revealed a microfracture in his left wrist. So that's not great for Atlanta. A lot of football stuff. The big one. Dan Snyder agrees to a $6 billion bid. Ownership group, including Magic Johnson, is nearing a deal to buy the Commanders. So that is great news. Congratulations to Magic Johnson and his group. And this is a big deal in the NFL now that Dan Snyder is no longer going to be associated with the Washington Commanders. The Bucs will not trade Devin White, as the GM says the team has no intention of moving him despite trade requests. Here's something juicy. The Vikings non-committal on Dalvin Cook as their GM didn't commit to having Dalvin on the roster and says conversations with Cook are ongoing. Woof. Falcons signed 1-year deal, $5 million to Bud Dupree. So nice veteran pickup for Atlanta. Odell Beckham says that he is ready to play with Lamar. As he says, he didn't get insurances, but chose Baltimore for the possibility to play with Jackson. He's got to be going back there, because Odell wouldn't have signed there if he knew he wasn't going back there. Micah Parsons defends Saquon Barkley after a Twitter troll who said that Barkley is not worth the big contract. And that was nice of Micah Parsons to say. But what's not good about that tweet is how he feels. That just says a lot about how he feels about Daniel Jones. Because he literally said that the Giants were a one-man offense. I mean, I felt that way until probably the last month of the year. Until Jones started to play better and some of those receivers were playing well. The Georgia quarterback, Stetson Bennett, might go undrafted, as many who interviewed him have non-football concerns after arrest for public intoxication. Wow. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. There's a couple that I like. I'm going to lay a quarter unit. Couple baseball overs I liked. But the one that I'm going to go with is over 8.5 in the Rockies-Mariners game. I think that's low. I'm going to go with a quarter unit on over 8.5 between the Rockies and the Mariners for my best bet of the day. That's it for the show. I'll be back on Monday recapping everything, and then I'll be making my picks for the hockey first round series as well. Have a great weekend, everyone.